Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. I am finally back. I have spent 18 of the last 21 days traveling around the globe. I've been in 3 countries. I've been in Germany, Spain, and Mexico doing work. And so I am back. So I'm very happy to be back after almost spending 3 full weeks abroad. Now, that meant I really couldn't do a lot of videos, so I want to get caught up here. One thing is I haven't really done many mail days. I've just been kind of saving things up, and I have some pretty fun cards. Now, I've been going to multiple card shows, going to auctions and doing things like that, so I got a lot of fun cards to show you. And I'll talk about where maybe I picked some of these cards up, or just, if you're interested. But it's going to be a lot of fun just showing off some of the cards. So we'll start here. The card I picked up in the REA auction, it's the 59 Bazooka Bill Mazeroski. SGC 1.5, so we can kind of see that down here, it's a little weirdly cut, not straight. It's missing the black around some of the edges, so not perfect, but this is like one of my favorite issues. It's one of the really big sad card sets if you think about it. Same way with 58 Hires Rupier to be missing the Clemente. I really think this is one of those card sets that would have just been killer if we had a Clemente. Now, the Hires Rupier doesn't have a Mantle. And, man, could you imagine like these two sets with Mantle, Clemente, Maze, Aaron? I mean, it just would have been amazing. But I have a Maz, so I have my Pirate card that I'm really happy to get. It's a beautiful card, and it is written on the back, 59 Bowman, or Bazooka. So, but this is like one of my favorite cards, from a favorite food issue, so glad to get that card in the collection. Now, next up is a card I got at Strongsville. I posted some cards on my Instagram, but this is definitely a first for me. So this is the first Bazooka panel I've ever picked up. So this is the 65 Bazooka full panel, and it's an X-Cement 6, which these are hard to get grades to begin with, because you have to have the black here to get PSA to grade them. And then, obviously it's hard to cut these things out with making a mistake and then keeping them in good shape. And this has got 2 pirates, so it's a kind of a double pirate win with Bob Veal and Clemente. Clemente being the center card, kind of cool. Love it. Here's the back if you just want to see what a brown cardboard back looks like. My first panel, and I don't have a 65 Bazooka base card. I don't have a single. I just have the panel. So I've been warned by many Clemente collectors that when you start getting into these oddball cards like the Bazookas, which you can get full boxes and panels and singles, you just, you become like obsessed with getting those cards in. Do I love those cards? Yes, I do. But it's not like I have a burning desire to get every panel and full box that's out there. I just want to collect the ones I think are cool. And that one was at Strongsville, and I like the price, and I nabbed it. The next card I picked up is also from Strongsville. It is the 33 George Miller Paul Manor. And this is a set I've never owned a card from. It is a striking set when you see a really nice copy. The Jimmy Fox in this set is one of my favorite cards too. And, this set, for those who didn't know, was something that was, was a premium, or it was a set that was, given away to entice people to come back to a store to collect. I believe it was a sporting goods store. You can see on the back it says, return this to the store free of charge, and you can get, so if you collect all 32 cards, you can send it in and get a baseball glove, I think a ball, or tickets to a game, except the World Series. It's very clear, no World Series games, but you can get a game. So a lot of people did redeem these cards, and they cut them like about right here. So there's a lot of really short versions of these cards because they were redeemed as people were, getting the free card, or the free glove and the free ball or whatever. The cards would get cut, and I think they were returned back to the customer if they cut them. So you got the card cut, and so you can redeem it again. And the thing about it is just the Art Deco style of artwork. And to me, it is nicer than the Diamond Stars for the most part. Because I do have the Diamond Stars version of this card, and I'll show it to you right now because it's my most recent pickup. I got this off an eBay auction. I was pretty stoked to grab it. And it is the 36 Diamond Star Paul Wainer. So you see the two Paul Wainers next to each other. This is a 7, so it's a much higher grade, but much more common card. This card is a lot more common, so it's not worth. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Miller is worth much more than the Wainer, even as a 3. But the Wainer is a great copy for the grade, and it does a good job to show you the difference in card design. Now, I will say the Wainer has a lot of things going on. It has an umpire, a catcher, some guy with his back to us, so it's got a lot more background versus just kind of generic trees and fields. However, I still prefer the Miller from just aesthetics. It just seems more like a piece of art than this is like a rotoscoped looking photo that just, kind of like a colorized photo, which is pretty much is. So again, I think this looks like more like art. This looks more like just a colorized photo. But they're still nice cards. I've always liked the Diamond Star set. Don't kid me. Or don't think I'm bagging the set. It's just one of those sets that I've always been, compared to Gowdy, it's poor stepbrother. And I have another set coming up that's even the poorer of the poor stepbrothers, and a set that I really like from the same era. So a lot of 30s cards in this video coming up. But there you go. Paul Wainer, PSA 7. Again, very nice copy. I'll show you the back. You got the green back, and again, the color of the back corresponds to the year. So, like, there's a blue back for, I believe, 36 or 36 or something like that. So you can tell by the color of the back, of the lettering, pretty much what year it is. So there you go. The George Miller, which is probably the best Paul Wainer card I own. And then I've got the cool, I've never owned this card, honestly, in any sort of condition that I would want to collect. And so that was cool to pick up that as well. So next up is a run of cards. So a lot of times I'll see on eBay, REA, auction houses, they'll make a run. In fact, just recently there was on Collectors Connect, there was a huge run of T207s. And in those auctions, you can pick up like 4 or 5, for me, like Pirates in a row. You can get them all in one auction. That's kind of cool. You can get focused in getting, those cards in one big swoop. And Probe Team ran a bunch of batter-ups, and so I got a lot of the Pirates. So, and a few other players, but here's the Pirates. So starting up here is Bud Haffey. And again, these cards are blank backed. They were designed to be folded in half. That's why they're called batter-ups. They were very similar to Topps later did the stand-ups. So same idea. Now, I mentioned even more of a poor little brother, stepbrother. Yes, this set compared to, like, say, Gowdy, Diamond Stars, and George Millers, and then batter-ups, this is probably the least preferred of all those. And I think it's just because it's plain photos. Now, a lot of people, including myself, have over the years have grown to like this set because of just the real photos. And there's not this time period, there's not a lot of real photo cards this size. So to me, it feels a need for like that kind of authentic photograph of these players, not the colorized or painted over cards you see from like Gowdy. So I like the card. I like the card set. All right, we'll cut that out. 3, 2, 1. So I like this card set. In fact, I've owned like the Deans, and I think I maybe even had a Jimmy Foxton set at one point. So I've liked this set a lot, and so I like to get the whole Pirate Team set. But they definitely go for a lot less money than Gowdy's or even Diamond Stars. So for the most part, now there are some exceptions. There are some rare cards in the set, from what I understand. Next up is 34 batter up Pep Young, and I like the action photo here. He was, let's see, second base, and so there you go. That's what I like about the set too. There are some really fun photographs here. So Pep Young in a 5. Yeah, this is definitely mid to high grade also for the set. These cards I picked up. Next up is Cy Blanton, a pitcher, and there you go, a 7, pretty high grade. And so again, he had almost an entire set, and so I just bid on all the parts, and this one happened to be a 7, and very clean back, very clean card. You don't see a lot of these cards in that condition, so that was fun to pick up. Next up is the Gus Sewer. Gus played first base, and I like this because you can see the dugout behind him with players sitting in the dugout. See that? Again, it's like a slice of life type card. So that is the commons I picked up. Next up are some Hall of Famers. So I picked up the Lloyd Wainer. This is the pink version. I forget what year the pink ones. I don't know if every year had the color variations, but here is the Wainer, number 17. And there's multiple, sometimes there's multiple cards of players in the set. So Wainer has card number 17, which is kind of that pink reddish tone. Then here's his card number 157, and it's a more of a different batting pose. Again, it's more like the sepia tone photos we just saw, or black and white, and there you go, the two cards side by side. And I think it's funny because, there's hitting, like if you look at how he's hitting, they're from different sides of the plate, or he's hitting from both left and right here. So that's what it looks like to me anyway. But there you go, both Wainers, one's a 5, one's a 4. And then I did pick up, probably the biggest card that I picked up in the auction was this card here, card 100, the Pie Trainer. And I have never owned a lot of Pie Trainer cards, but I've never owned this card. And Pie Trainer was a very, very good player, Hall of Famer. I think he still owns some records for the Pirates, so he's definitely one of those guys. And his cards do sell very well. So yeah, card 100 Pie Trainer. So that's a lot of the Pirates right there. 3 Hall of Famers. So that was fun to pick up those cards and have well on my way to the full team set. Now, I miss Paul Wainer. That's a card I need to get. I just got a bunch of Paul Wainer, so happy to get all the Wainer cards. And I missed a Wainer card. I don't know why. I don't know how I would forget there's the other one I picked up. So I picked this Wainer card up in the RA auction as well. And it is the 33 Gaudy PSA 4, or sorry, SGC 4. And nice green back. Now, I picked up the 34 Gaudy already this year. So I picked up both the 33 and 34 Gaudy Wainer. So I'm well on my way with the Miller, the Diamond Star, the 2 Gaudis to having a pretty cool Paul Wainer collection. As a Pirate fan, I mean, you got to have some Wainer cards. It's like you got to have Wagner, Wainer, Trainer, and then it gets a little, the Wagners become troublesome, but Wainer's still somewhat affordable, especially Lloyd. Paul is a little bit more expensive, but I love that card, and just love that red background. So sorry about that. And then last but not least are some a little bit more modern 60s cards, but still fun. First up is a 60 Bazooka. Clemente in a 6, and again, this is from REA's auction. So I love, again, getting into the bazookas, and then here's a 61 Mazeroski. That's a 7. So pretty good grade on those 2 bazookas. And just love getting into more of those little more oddball cards. And I'm not, getting into them like, hugely right now, but I am looking at Venezuelans. And so here I picked up a few and I made a mistake. I've been on multiple copies of this card, and I ended up winning 2 of them. So I have a PSA 3, Venezuelan Maz, and a 3.5 SGC, 67 Venezuelan. So yeah, I didn't mean to get 2, but now I have 2 of them. But I like the cool back. This one has a big stain. This one doesn't. Even though it's a 3.5, I do kind of prefer the non-stained 3 over the 3.5. But yeah, a lot of fun picking up these cards. I mean, honestly, when I look at my pirate collection, it's been a while since I picked up a lot of fun, bigger cards. And so I'm starting to do that. Same with my Bender collection. I've really been not focused on it for the last few years, and now I'm starting to get back into it. Just staying in pre-war, getting these cards. It's just a lot of fun. And sometimes they're super expensive, sometimes they're not. I mean, this card didn't run me a whole lot of dollars, and it's a cool card. It's not as many out there. But, when you start getting more Clemente cards, more Maz cards, Paul Wander cards, I mean, then you get into a lot of stuff that, love to collect. So, but that's it, guys. That's the pirate update. A lot of pre-war, some 60s cards, but most of the stuff, not a single base card, I think, in this whole set from the 50s, 60s, or 70s, which used to be my main focus. So I'm hoping you see how my collection has evolved a little bit. What I'm collecting now is a little bit more rare, maybe not more expensive, but just a little bit harder to find. And that's the direction I'm going. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.